Smash Ultimate has so many unique and cool characters that I look at the lame characters and ask myself, did they really have to be? This video is mostly going to be diving into those lame characters and figuring out whether or not they succeeded in representing their actual character, or they just made them a lot less cool than they could have been. Now, I couldn't do a video on characters that are cool that turned out to be lame without mentioning Ganondorf. Ganondorf got a few changes in Ultimate, where he got his sword, he got his Ocarina of Time design, and it looked like it was a bit cooler than he ever was when it came to the other games. Unfortunately, he still is based off Falcon, so they just didn't use much when it came to Ganon. He has magic, he has floating, he has his cape, he has his sword. He has so many ways to become a really cool character, and they just made him a powerhouse without many options. And I feel like Ganondorf is just doomed to be the worst character in every Smash game, at least until, not Melee, but he's better at Melee. But the worst character in the future Smash games until they actually change the design. He does not have to be a powerhouse that's slow. There are so many powerhouses that are fast in this game. They just need to limit his range and make his recovery just manageable. There's ways to make him cool. He has magic. Like, sure, you may not be able to think about how Ganondorf can use magic. Maybe he uses the Ocarina of Time like tennis mini game, but actually as an attack. But it's just so sad to see Ganondorf like this. The cool thing about Mac is that he's an actual boxer and he uses boxing techniques in his attacks. That's awesome, and I think they cooked with that. The problem is they put him in Smash Ultimate thinking that he has to stick to not having any aerials, not having a recovery, just being a lot less equipped than everyone else in the game. And I still don't really understand that. They could have just kept him being a boxer while also giving him actual moves. There are definitely like inspirations for this character. He's very unique in that sense. And I do think maybe if they kept him that like boxer type that stays on the ground but still has aerials, it could have been really cool. The problem I see is when they give him armor on his smash attacks. I don't really get that. I don't think it makes him more inclined with, I guess, punch out. It just makes him lamer. It makes him mashy. It makes him become a casual destroyer just spamming smash attacks. And it just didn't have to be that way. There are so many ways to take Mac and make him better, but I think with him being the same way for 2 games, I just can't see them changing his design because they feel like, oh, this is just how Mac should be. Sure, there are going to be some Mac players that make this character look cool, at least when it comes to the recovery. I think it's very impressive to watch Peanut recover against people who want to edgeguard him, like showing that the character does have some mix-ups and can make it really far with some smart positioning. But I don't know. I think this character is kind of hopeless when it comes to actual design. He might not ever get a change. With Minman, I get it. This character just attacks from across the stage, has the freest tech chases ever, the freest edge guards ever, the freest ledge traps ever. It's ridiculous, and she can make people feel like they're not playing Smash. And they aren't. They're playing ARMS. And ARMS sucks. I'm gonna just be honest. ARMS is not a good game. Everyone in ARMS plays like this, and I think if they ever have an ARMS character, this is how they're going to implement them. It's just throwing things from across the stage, trying to grab from across the stage, from projectiles, maybe sometimes, but it's just 2 of them doing it at each other. Sure, there's some movement things, sure they can jump around, the stages make it different, and that's cool in ARMS, but in Smash, you're not playing Smash Brothers, and I think people understand that. There's no saving the design of this character for me, but I will say, it's unique, it's accurate, and people who enjoy playing like that, I'm sure they have a blast. When it comes to the Demon of Luck, we're talking about Hero. And Hero is a case where I'm not sure exactly how I feel, but I gotta be honest, at the end of the day, I think Hero is designed beautifully. Yes, he has some of the dumbest moves in the game when it comes to just pure power. He has a move that turns him into a ball that explodes and kills you at basically 30. He has moves that send across the stage. He has luck with whack and thwack and kills you at 0 if you can get it. He has Acceleroll to make him speed up. He has to make him power up and kill you because he hits your shield and it breaks it for free. He has Hatchet Man that breaks your shield for free. It's ridiculous. He has so many things. But I'm gonna be honest, if I'm talking specifically design, it is so cool that they implemented an RPG character with this many moves. with a menu. I think menu is one of the coolest ideas added in Smash. What they actually did with it is annoying as hell. I really hate most of the moves that Hero has. I think he turns into a very cheesy character because of it. But the menu idea is awesome. I thought it was so cool when it comes to adding it to Smash. If they just tone it down a little bit less cheese, then I will be even more interested. Because there's just so many moves that exist that aren't about cheesing. Like I think like Zoom's cool. I think all the fire moves are cool. I think even him buffing himself is cool. I think that's a cool thing for him to do. But having Thwack and Whack and it's just so dumb. Like Magic Burst is so dumb, and I'm just not a fan of those things, especially because it's all based on this MP system, which, you know, regenerates over time and he gets magic back when he hits people. It just doesn't feel like there's any risk to using these things. I've seen many heroes just expend their entire magic points because if one of them hits, well, they win the stock. Even if they lose MP, they still get like some back just from hitting people, and their normal moves aren't bad enough that they can't get MP. You're never going to see a hero completely run out of MP that much. The reward does not match the risk at all. At the end of the day, I'm such a fan of Hero that I can accept it, but man, this character is silly. Alright, in time for the section that I feel like I'm the most mixed on, the FTC characters. I think it's really cool that they added the FTC characters. I think it's cool to have fighting game characters in Smash. It was a big deal when it first happened with Ryu in Smash 4, and it's still a big deal now. But I'm gonna be honest, it's super lame to have auto turnaround in this game. I think it would have been better if they just didn't. Now, apparently, FTC mains do think that, hey, that's more annoying than helpful. But when you actually fight them, it just makes it so it's harder to cross up on them. It makes them feel more like a wall. It just feels unfair. It feels really lame. And if you just remove that, I think all of them would be pretty much cooler for it. I think Kazuya still is overtuned. I still think they have him too big on the slider when it comes to power because he has a comeback mechanic, he has Electric Wind God Fist, he has invincible moves, invincible dash. It's ridiculous. Turn that down, but I think these are very salvageable characters. It's just right now they're built like a weird Bowser space in Smash tournaments where you just don't want to fight FTC characters unless you have a really broken matchup or really slow or they're really slow against you, or hey, I don't know. I do think they do have some merit being here. I don't know why we have Ken, Ryu, Terry, and Kazuya, but hey, they all will be likely not in the next game, and if we just have Ryu, that's still really cool. Just take the auto turnaround out for real. Alright, and finally we have Sonic. And Sonic is weird to me because I do get it. I get him being the fastest character in the game. It makes sense, he's the fastest thing alive. I do understand him having spin dash, that's one of his signature moves. It just feels like, I don't know, if you're a Sonic fan, if you've been a Sonic fan for a long time, you know Sonic's moveset is way bigger than his Genesis days. He has so many things to take inspiration from, but it felt like all Sakurai ever played, Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. Like, it really doesn't make any sense to me. Like, he has homing attack, which is like, I guess a 3D Sonic thing, but like, come on. They could have made him so much cooler. What he is right now makes sense. Like, if they ever imagine a Sonic, like a Smash universe, if we ever had like classic Sonic, this would be what I thought he would be like. But like for Sonic the Hedgehog, for 20, like 30 years of games, nah, he could be so much more than that. And I hope they do that with him. I think there's a lot of it. Like, he feels like a Mario to me, where there's a lot they can draw from, and if he's in a game, like if they just make a Smash game with like 30 characters and he's in there, I think he's gonna get a revamp and it'll be really awesome to see. But hey, that's all just hoping. I really hope they just update these Smash movesets because it'd be really cool to see them. So what's the takeaway from all this? Honestly, what you find lame might be different from what other people find lame. I don't enjoy fighting Minman. I don't enjoy fighting Little Mac. I don't enjoy fighting Sonic. But there are still Little Mac, Minman, and Sonic mains who probably still love those characters, love their designs, and love how they feel. I just think if you're going to make a character that some people perceive lame, just don't overtune them. I think Minman is just a case where even if you enjoy Minman, even if you enjoy playing against Minman, There's so many cooler ways Minman could have been designed, but I don't know. Is it ARM's fault? Is it Sakurai's fault? I don't really know. There are just so many ways you can fix yourself, and maybe they'll do it in the next Smash game. I just hope they do.